Today I'm looking at a pressure washer that doesn't start with a K. This is the AVA Master P80 from Norway. This is the AVA Master P80, and the Master range that AVA do is this one on a trolley that comes with a hose on a reel that you can wind it all up and keep it all together. And the P80 is the biggest one they do in the Master series. They've got the 60, 70 and 80, which that means it gives 160 bar, and it comes with a 10-meter long hose, which is steel reinforced, and it goes on this reel that swings either side to follow you if you want it to, but you can also lock it in place. To be fair, some of the other ranges they do also have like a similar reel system for the hose, but I wanted to go for this larger Master range, which starts at around £390. I'll put Amazon links in the description below where you can see the details and prices. Now literally, I've just taken this out the box, and a few things jump out at you immediately. Although it's all made out of plastic like these things are, this is pretty heavyweight plastic. It's quite chunky, and they've obviously thought about the design of this. Just looking at the lance, it comes in two sections, so you can use it just as a sort of small pistol grip, or you can use this extension that just goes on with this normal fitting, but it does lock in place as well, so you can't take it off. But even this extension, what do you call it, lance, actually can then extend, so you've got like another sort of 300 or 400 mil extension depending on what you're working on, which I've not seen before. The other thing I've just noticed as well, and don't tell anyone, but when I used to use my Karcher for long prolonged periods, I used to actually wire up the handle because the trigger was so heavy that after 5 minutes you just lose the will to live. Now this trigger is quite clever. It pulls back as you'd imagine, but there's another little black trigger in the middle there that if you hold your finger on actually holds it in place. So if you can imagine, it might take, let's say, 1 kilogram to pull it back, but if you put your finger on that black trigger, it might only take 100 grams to keep it in place. It's a bit like a compound bow. If you've ever done any archery, by the time you pull it back, the cogs and that actually make it a lot easier to hold in place. So that's quite a nice little feature. Let me just pop that back on here. It comes with a couple of nozzles, like the rotating nozzle and a variable nozzle. And this pack also comes with a patio cleaner, spinny thing that you put on the patio that spins around and cleans up. I'm going to give that a go in a minute. And it also comes with like a foaming attachment for cleaning your car. And I've also bought some of their foam cleaner, so I intend giving that a go. But as I said, you know, it looks like someone's actually designed this, because even this has got somewhere just to fit in and just keep everything together. So anyway, rather than just talking about it and looking at bits of plastic, I definitely think with this one we need to take it out and give it a spray. This trolley makes it easy to move around. However, it is needed because at 30 kilograms, you wouldn't want to try to carry this very far. Like all pressure washers, there's two things to connect it to: electricity and water. One of the main reasons I went for this one is this hose reel. The other pressures I've had in the past are okay, but I found when you finish, you end up with meters of stiff pressure hose that never really wants to wind up properly or hang on the unit properly, which then makes it a pain to store. As usual, all the fittings are sort of idiot proof, so there's no way you can connect things the wrong way round or to the wrong item. The other thing I was after was a long hose, and at 10 meters long it gives you plenty of area to go at without continually having to move the unit. I first try out the variable nozzle. This changes the spread of water from a narrow 20-degree jet to a wider 60-degree jet, which makes quite a difference. Here I've got it somewhere in the middle, which is plenty to remove any of this grime from my paving. It's difficult to see here, but I'm using it with the lance nearly fully extended, which means I can stand upright and I still get the nozzle close to the ground. I found with this nozzle it can cut through dirt pretty well, although it does take time because the spray jet is so narrow. So I move on to testing the rotating nozzle, which seems to deliver a similar cleaning power but with a wider spray. Like all rotating nozzles, the speed you move across the surface makes a big difference to the final clean. If you move too quick, it tends not to take everything off. So then I swapped to what I've found to be the easiest and most convenient way of cleaning paving, which is using the spinny patio cleaner in a box thing. And I've changed to using these over the last couple of years because it's just so easy. A bit like hoovering the living room, and because the water spray is contained in the box, I find that my boots and my trousers aren't soaked in water by the end of the session. I found this one works well and the skirt stops water from spraying everywhere. The froth you see isn't any detergent, it's just clean water frothing up as it comes out the nozzles. Because you can remove the pistol grip easily at the top of the lance, I found myself taking it off regularly just to wash down the area. I thought I'd also try it out on one other thing that I normally use pressure washers for, which is cleaning the car. This set comes with a foam dispenser bottle, which I've just filled with a mixture of car cleaner and water. I first use it with the lance, and the spray from this bottle is really wide, but there doesn't seem to be an adjustment for it. I then take it off and put it directly onto the pistol grip, which I found easier to use. This whole process gives a satisfying snow foam type coverage, which is nice to see. And then with the lance and with the variable nozzle set to the wide 60-degree low setting, I wash off the foam while trying not to take the paint off my car with this 160 bar of water pressure. I must say the combination of using the foam dispenser together with the longer lance really changes the experience of cleaning cars. This new setup is a pleasure to use and it feels a lot more professional. So in my excitement, I actually forgot to try the microfiber brush, which is a bit of a shame because obviously there's one thing about foaming a car and then cleaning it off, but it does need to be wiped. So I don't think my car is going to come out as sparkling as I'd hoped. But anyway, I'll try that when I give the wife a training session on how to use the new pressure washer. So final thoughts on this AVA P80. Well, I think it's pretty good actually. It's very powerful. I had to be a little bit careful when I was washing off the car that I didn't use too much pressure and I didn't get too close. Else instead of having a black car, I'll end up with silver streaks on it. And I've probably mentioned this once or twice already, but whoever's designed this has put a lot of thought into it and tried to make everything as easy as possible and everything to fit together. A bit like an iPhone or a really well-made car. It just sort of works because the thought has gone into it. So I appreciate that. And I'm sure I'm going to be using this for many years to come. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time.